Hi, welcome to another episode of Matt's Garage. Cold Sunday morning, and I'm tackling a problem that every early Bronco owner at some point will deal with, and that is the doors. My camera's crooked here. Let me just straighten that out, which is kind of symbolic, I think, of what we're doing today. So, I've been struggling, especially with this passenger side door. So, I think I have some tips and tricks that'll help you out there. This really only applies to you if you're doing some sort of a restoration or you're putting on a brand new door. Let me just grab my door. Let's talk about the problem. Really, two problems, okay? Well, multiple problems, but let's just start with the first two. One is, the door was way in and this fender was way out, okay? And then the other one is up here. When this is lined up, this rear quarter is way out. So basically the door is way in from what I need it to be. And on this side, the profile just doesn't match at all. So we'll talk about that second. Let's start with the front. Okay. Now, my hinges were maxed out on this door. Okay. So I could not get the door to come out anymore. So last night, I was thinking with my brain, what if the hinges aren't fully as far down as they could be? The cutout for the hinges is a little too close to the backing plate, so I just filed this side down on this hole just to make sure that the hinge isn't hitting the exterior skin at all. By the way, I'm not taking any responsibility for what you do to your door. I'm just sharing my experience. So that was step number one. Step number two, I used the hole maker bigger to oval these holes down. And I was able to set these hinges down deeper into the door. So if the hinges are deeper into the door, that means the door is sticking further out. So that was phase number one. So now I'm on to phase number two. And what I've done is I've taken the flange that goes to the three screw holes here. I've taken that flange off of the spot welds, and I'm trying to get this thing to sit as far in as I can. Okay, so the first interference was this, the return flange itself. So I've shaved this down, and now that is no longer the interference. What's actually the problem is, and you can really see it when the door's on, the door, even with the hinges maxed out and the modification I made, still the skin of the door is basically right in line with this return lip on the front door post. So what I need to do is go in and coerce this return lip to be further in. So I'm going to take these hinges off and take a hammer, and while I'm there, I'll clean up some of these welds that that burned through from this side, and just clean that up, and that way I should be able to get this fender to sit more in. So I brought my door out and I'm bringing this fender in. And that brings us to problem number three, which is this back side, okay? Now, this is hitting, not here, okay, but in there where the return flange, this return flange, it maxes out against that lip back there. That tells me that I actually installed this wrong. If you can imagine, if this corner was out another 1/4 inch, I wouldn't have to do anything, but I already screwed that up. That ship has sailed. So what I need to do is make it so this sits more in. In order to do that, I haven't quite figured that out yet, but it's gonna involve shortening, basically cutting this flange. But in any case, it's just, what I'm learning about this, what, let me put the camera up and have this discussion. What I'm learning from this experience is it's all just metal, right? Well, two things actually. Everything's really important, and nothing's important. And what I mean by that is sometimes like the distance to the hood, like a change will make a huge impact. Like for example, right now I'm also struggling with the relationship of the core support to the firewall. Something's gone cockeyed when I assembled all this. Imagine that. So I'm just not getting the fit and the angles right on the front core support. So I can't shorten things this way and expect not to have some serious consequences. So that's like really important. Other stuff like these modifications I'm making to the doorpost, it doesn't matter. You got to make the body fit to what you got, right? So that's what I mean. Some stuff's super important, some stuff's not important at all. And it's hard to figure out which one's which until you finish and then have to go back and redo it all. I just filled in all the holes from where I broke this post apart, cleaned everything up and shaved things down and beat it down and did all that. So now the hinges are loose, which is the most fun time to put them on. All right. There you go. So now I can do the whole door alignment thing all over again. Actually, that's okay. I don't hate that. Oh man, look at that! Are you kidding me? It's pretty good, man. Pretty good. Actually, this top went a little bit. The top is out more than the bottom. That's how effective that one was. Wait. Don't get cocky, Luke. Because I still need to put the flange in. Oh man, so good. Okay. Now the flangey. I don't want this to be as flush as possible. And you see here, this flange, I don't know if you can see, this flange actually comes out past the profile. Just gonna take a paint marker and sort of paint me an outline of what I need to take off here. And take that to the bandsaw and zip it off. In order for me to mount that on the back onto the flange, I really need to, I cut the spot welds from this side, but I need to weld it from this side because this is the part that's going to be exposed. So I'm just going to punch a couple of holes, and you want to stay clear of the edges, obviously. Should get me there. Then I'm going to hammer and dolly this flange straight so that, you know, for obvious reasons. Okay, so that does it for that back flange. Let me just pull it off and weld it all up. Ready to shoot that, just paint it, man. Okay, now for me to do this back side, finish the front, back. Here's the rear taillight housing. Let's zoom out a bit here. I've got room here to push this in. See, I got room to push this in. If this was like sticking out past this, that would be a disaster. So instead of focusing on the back, I'm gonna turn my attention to this situation here. Now what's happening is, let me back you up just a tad. So this is matched up and there's like a ½ inch of space between the core support and this front grill right here. This should be flush, which means the core support needs to come this way. And what happens when I do that is it lifts these fenders up. If if this is too tall here, right, and this fender goes up, then that gap back there gets screwed up. So my other option is to lower the core support, which is something I've been looking at. And I can do that either by shaving the body mounts, or taking the place where the core support sits and actually cutting that and lowering it just, you know, I think a 1/4 inch. So that's the debate I'm having right now. I don't know who's gonna win the debate. Here's the thing, this whole process of getting this to be right and whether I should lower the core support or not, or what, it requires more brain power than I actually have at this moment. So I'm gonna take a break and do the other side for the fender the same way I did this side, so that both fenders are kind of ready to go for this phase. I'm gonna hold off on the back for now and then get the front done, then put my attention to the back. I mean, that's where it wants to be. Should be up a little bit. Build up that nose, or shim it, I guess. Shimmy, shim, shimmeroo. Lots of thinking to do, boys. Lots of thinking to do.